Hello everyone. In this video, I will walk through the process I used to register a newly received Cisco device using Cisco Smart Licensing using policy, also known as SLP. The device is running Cisco IOS XE 17.12 and uses direct communication with Cisco Smart Software Manager or CSSM. The video is based on guidance provided by Cisco TAC, with one important difference in my environment that I'll explain during the setup. Before we begin, I have intentionally blurred sensitive information throughout the video, including license tokens, serial numbers, and other production-related details, as this device will eventually be deployed into a live environment. Before establishing trust with Cisco Smart Licensing, we need to make sure that the device can reach Cisco's licensing infrastructure. Cisco recommends testing connectivity to smartreceiver.cisco.com using both PIN and TCP port 443. If DNS resolution is not working in your environment, you can also create a static DNS entry on the device using the IP address of the licensing server. In my case, DNS resolution was already working, so no static host entry was required. The next step is configuring Smart Licensing Transport. Cisco recommends using Smart Transport rather than the older Call Home Transport method. Before touching any configuration, the first thing I do is run show license status to document the out-of-box state of the device. This is an important step that's easy to skip, and there are two things worth noting here. First, Smart Licensing using policy is already enabled out of the box. Cisco ships all iOS XE 7.3.2 and the newer devices with SLP pre-enabled, so you don't need to enable it manually. This is a modern licensing framework and it's on by default. Second, and this is interesting, the device already shows a smart account I blurred out and a default virtual account. This means the device came pre-associated with our corporate Cisco Smart account straight from the factory. Cisco does this as part of the ordering process when your company has an established smart account relationship. However, it's sitting in the default virtual account, which is not where we want it. Later in this video, after the trust is established, I will be moving it to a different virtual account that's specific to this device role. And the new token I will generate will be created under that target virtual account. So the reassignment happens as part of the trust establishment process when we use the new token. This initial show license status output gives us a clean baseline. Smart licensing using policy enabled, pre-associated with a corporate smart account, sitting in default virtual account, and no usage report sent. That's exactly what we'd expect from a brand new device fresh out of the box. Now with the baseline documented, the first configuration step is verifying the device can reach Cisco's licensing server. I tested this two ways. First with a PIN to confirm basic IP reachability, then with a telnet to port 443 to confirm HTTPS connectivity is working end-to-end. Since my management interface is in a dedicated VRF, I need to specify the VRF in both tests. Otherwise, the device would try to reach the server through the global routing table and the test would be meaningless. First, I run PIN with the VRF management option, and it comes back successful. Basic IP reachability to the Cisco licensing server is confirmed through the management VRF. Next, I test the port 443 connectivity using telnet. Again, specifying the VRF with the /VRF management option. But here's where something interesting happens. The telnet attempt goes out using an IPv6 address instead of IPv4. This is because IOS XE prefers IPv6 when both address types are available in DNS, which can catch you off guard. The port 443 test needs to match the actual transport the device will use for CSSM communication. So IPv6 isn't necessarily wrong, but I want to confirm IPv4 specifically since that's what my environment uses. I use the question mark help to check what additional options are available on the telnet command. And there it is, the /IPv4 option to force IPv4. I rerun the telnet with both /VRF management and the /IPv4 options. This time, the output confirms port 443 is open over IPv4 through the management VRF. Exactly what we need. Both connectivity tests pass and we are ready to move on to configuration. First thing to configure is the transport method. There are two options: call home transport, which is a legacy method, and the smart transport, which is the recommended modern method. I'm using smart transport here. I don't need to manually specify the URL because it automatically points to Cisco's CSSM cloud. Now here's where my setup differs slightly from the standard TAC instructions. My management interface is in a dedicated VRF, which is a common design in production networks where management traffic is separated from data plane traffic. Because the HTTP client on the device needs to source its request from the management interface, I have to explicitly tell IOS XE which interface to use for outbound HTTP connections. I use the IP HTTP client source interface command pointing to my management interface. Without this command, the device would try to source a CSSM connection from the global routing table and wouldn't find a route to the internet through the management interface. So this step is critical in my environment. I did not need to configure a proxy since my management network has direct internet access. That's the other difference from the TAC instructions, which include optional proxy configuration for environments that require it. At this point, the device is able to communicate with Cisco licensing services. Next, we need a token from the Cisco Smart Software Manager portal. I navigate to software.cisco.com, go into Smart Software Manager, and select Manage Licenses. From there, I go to Inventory, and this is where the virtual account selection matters. Remember, the device came pre-associated with the default virtual account. I'm now navigating to the target virtual account, where this device should actually live in production. Under the General tab, I can see existing tokens and their expiry dates. A single token can be reused across multiple devices as long as it's still valid. So if you are deploying a batch of devices to the same virtual account, you only need one token. I generate a new token for this virtual account and copy it to the clipboard. I had it blurred in this video. This token is what ties the device to the correct virtual account when trust is established. Now back on the device. This is where the trust relationship is established and the virtual account reassignment happens simultaneously. I run the license smart trust ID token command followed by the token I just copied from the target virtual account with the "or" keyword at the end initially, but it didn't seem to do anything. I think the reason is because the device already registered with the default virtual account. I tried adding "false" keyword at the end of the same command, and that made the device override the existing licensing trust code with a new one, as you can see from the output on the screen. What happens behind the scenes here is important. The device sends a token to CSSM. CSSM validates it, establishes trust, and simultaneously moves the device from the default virtual account into the target virtual account that the token was generated for. So the reassignment is automatic. No manual steps needed in the portal. The command show license summary confirms the reassignment has happened. The command show license status confirms that as well. In addition, the output displays a trust code installed timestamp near the bottom of the output. In the usage reporting section, last report push confirms the report was sent. Last ACK received confirms CSSM received it and acknowledged it. All these timestamps are showing the device is fully trusted, correctly assigned to the right virtual account, and actively reporting license usage to Cisco's Smart Software Manager. I hope this walkthrough helps anyone deploying a new Cisco IOS XE device with smart licensing using policy. If this video was helpful, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel for more Cisco networking and infrastructure content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.